Stars and the Solar System. Introduction. We all, at some point in our life, would have wondered what is beyond the sky that is invisible to our eyes. Well, there are innumerous objects present in the space. These include the Sun, planets, comets, asteroids, and meteors. Thus, Sun, along with all the celestial bodies revolving around it, form the solar system. The gravitational attraction of the Sun keeps these objects revolving around it. The solar system. Our Earth, as we know, revolves around the Sun. It is one of the members of the solar system. Apart from Earth, there are 7 more planets that revolve around the Sun. Thus, the total number of planets in solar system are 8. The 8 planets in order of distance from the Sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Let us understand about each of the members of solar system in detail. The Sun. Option: the Sun is a star, just like many of the stars that are visible to us in the night sky. It is the nearest star to Earth. However, it is almost 93 million miles away from us. It looks small, even though it is the biggest object in the solar system. In fact, the Sun consists of 99% of the mass of the whole solar system. The Sun is so big, that is, it is 100 times wider than the Earth. The Sun is also what allows us to live in Earth. That is, it continuously emits huge amounts of light and heat. It is because of this reason that Sun is considered the source of almost all energy on Earth. It is in fact the main source of heat and light for all planets in the solar system. The planets. Apart from Sun, we also have planets that form the part of the solar system. The planets of the solar system are just like stars. However, they do not have light of their own. They reflect the light that falls on them from the Sun. Thus, the simplest way to check whether an object is a star or a planet is to see whether the object twinkles or no. If it does twinkle, then it is a star, or else it is a planet. Also, the planets keep changing their position with respect to stars. A planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the Sun. This path is known as orbit. The time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is known as its period of revolution. The period of revolution increases as the distance of the planet increases from the Sun. Besides revolving around the Sun, the planets also rotate on its own axis. The time taken by a planet to complete one rotation is called the period of rotation. Satellites. There are many more objects apart from planets and Sun present in the space. These objects are referred to as satellites. Satellites are a mass of body that revolve around the planets. Thus, satellite can be defined as any celestial body revolving around another celestial body. The Earth can be called as the satellite of the Sun as it revolves around it. However, we prefer to call it a planet. This is because we refer the term satellite for those bodies that revolve around the planets. For instance, Moon is called the natural satellite of Earth. We can also see many other satellites revolving around Earth. However, these satellites are man-made satellites and are known as artificial satellites. Let us now understand about the planets individually and in detail. Mercury. If taken from Sun, Mercury, that is Bud, is the first and the nearest planet to the Sun. It is the smallest planet in our solar system, much smaller than Earth. It is one of the 5 planets that are visible from the Earth with nothing but our eyes. However, it does look much like a planet, but more like a bright star. At many a times, we can see Mercury just before the sunset or sunrise near the horizon. Mercury, because it is very close to the Sun, is very difficult to observe, as most of the time it is hidden in the glare of the Sun. Its surface has the greatest temperature range of any planet in our solar system. The surface temperature on Mercury towards the side of the Sun reaches 427 degrees Celsius, while when it is in shade, it touches minus 183 degrees Celsius. Mercury has no atmosphere present, that is, it almost has no air on the planet. Also, it has no satellite of its own. Venus. Now, shifting to the next planet in our solar system, that is Venus or Shukra. This planet rotates slowly and in the opposite direction as compared to other planets, that is, from east to west. Its rotation on its axis is somewhat unusual. It does not have any natural satellite of its own. It is Earth's nearest planetary neighbor and is almost identical in size, gravity, and density. Also, it has an atmosphere. On its surface, it has volcanoes, mountains, and sand. The temperature on Venus touches almost 482 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere on Venus mostly contains carbon dioxide. This makes Venus a highly toxic place. It consists of yellow clouds which reflect sun rays, making it the brightest planet visible in the sky. Sometimes it appears in the eastern sky before sunrise, and sometimes it appears in the western just after the sunset. It is thus referred to as morning or evening star, although it is not a star. Earth. The third planet of our solar system is none but our Earth, Prithvi, the planet where we reside. It is the only planet on which life is known to exist. Some special conditions are responsible for the existence and continuation of life on Earth. These include the right temperature, the presence of water and suitable atmosphere, a blanket of ozone, and just the right distance from the Sun. From space, Earth appears blue-green due to reflection of light from water and landmass on its surface. The axis of rotation of the Earth is not perpendicular to the plane of its orbit. This means that the axis of Earth is inclined to its orbital plane at an angle of 66.5 degrees. An orbital plane is a plane in which the Earth revolves around the Sun. The tilt is responsible for the change of seasons on Earth. Earth has only one natural satellite, but many man-made satellites. Mars. The fourth planet of our solar system is Mars, or Mangal. It is the first planet outside the orbit of Earth. It appears reddish in color due to the presence of iron oxide and rust present in its soil. Thus, it is also known as the red planet. The surface of the Mars is full of dust and rocks. It has 2 natural satellites. Jupiter. Moving on to the 5th planet of our solar system, Jupiter or Brihaspati. Jupiter is the largest planet of our solar system. It is so large that it can fit 1,300 Earths inside itself. However, the mass of Jupiter is about 318 times that of our Earth. Jupiter rotates very rapidly on its axis, leading to storms in its atmosphere. Most of its storms seem to never end. Jupiter has large number of satellites circling around it. It has 63 confirmed natural satellites, that is, largest number of satellites compared to any other planets in the solar system. It also has faint rings surrounding it. Saturn. Saturn, or Shani, is the yellowish color planet that appears beyond Jupiter. It is considered a beautiful planet because of the rings present around it. Saturn consists of 7 rings around it. The Saturn rings are made of dust, ice particles, and rocks. They are solid in nature. One of the interesting facts about Saturn is that it is the least dense amongst all the planets of the solar system. If Saturn was thrown in an ocean, we would see the planet floating on the water. Saturn too, like Jupiter, consists of large number of satellites. It has confirmed 62 natural satellites. Titan is the natural largest satellite of Saturn. It is the only other celestial body apart from Earth where liquid has been found to exist. Uranus. Like Venus, rotating from east to west, is Uranus, the 7th planet of our solar system. It is one of the outermost planets of our system. Uranus is a unique planet of our system because of its tilt of 98 degrees on its axis. The atmosphere of this planet consists of hydrogen, helium, and methane. The temperature in the upper atmosphere is so cold that methane condenses and forms a thin cloud layer. This gives the planet the blue-green appearance. Uranus consists of rings too, but however, its rings do not stretch out like the rings of Saturn. It consists of 27 confirmed natural satellites. Neptune. It is the last planet of our solar system, Neptune. It consists of large dark circles on its surface, which are believed to be storms. Neptune has 2 thick and 2 thin rings that surround it. It also has 13 natural satellites. Apart from the planets and the Sun, there are also some other members of the solar system. These are the asteroids, comets, meteors and meteorites, and artificial satellites. Let us get an idea about each of these members. Asteroids. There is a large gap between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. This gap is filled by a large number of small objects that revolve around the Sun. These objects are referred to as asteroids. These objects are visible only through a telescope. Comets. Comets are the most rare objects in the night sky. A comet is made up of frozen gases, rock, dust, water, and ice. It revolves around the Sun in highly elliptical orbits. A comet generally appears as a bright head with a long tail. The length of the tail grows in size as it approaches the sun. The tail of the comet is always directed away from the sun. Many comets are known to appear periodically. One such comet has been Halley's Comet, which appears nearly after every 76 years. It was last seen in 1986. There are superstitions about comets being messengers of disaster, wars, epidemics, and floods. However, such is not the case, and we need not worry about it. Meteors and Meteorites. A meteoroid is a stone-like object that is visible in the outer space. If a meteoroid enters into the Earth's atmosphere, having high speed, it begins to heat up. This is because it causes friction with the atmosphere. A meteoroid then starts to glow and evaporates quickly. These are called meteors. They look like bright flashes of light and are commonly known as shooting stars. Large meteors that do not evaporate when coming in touch with the Earth's atmosphere and reach the surface of Earth are known as meteorites. These meteorites, when they strike the Earth's surface, form craters on the surface. Artificial satellites. Apart from the Moon, many other satellites also surround Earth. These are known as artificial satellites. These satellites are man-made satellites and are always launched from Earth. They revolve around the Earth, but are much closer as compared to the natural satellite, Moon. India has built and launched several artificial satellites. Some of the Indian satellites are Aryabhat, INSAT, IRS, Kalpana-1, EduSat, etc. All these satellites are used for various practical applications such as weather forecasting, transmission of television and radio signals, telecommunications, and remote sensing. Summary. Solar system includes the Sun, planets, comets, asteroids, and meteors. The gravitational attraction of the Sun keeps these objects revolving around it. The total number of planets in solar system are 8. The 8 planets in order of distance from the Sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The Sun is the nearest star to the Earth. It consists of 99% of the mass of whole solar system. The Sun allows us to live in Earth, that is, it continuously emits huge amounts of light and heat. It is because of this reason that Sun is considered the source of almost all energy on Earth. Apart from Sun, we also have the planets that form the part of the solar system. The planets of the solar system are just like stars, however, they do not have light of their own. Simplest way to check whether an object is a star or a planet is to see whether the object twinkles or no. If it does twinkle, then it is a star, or else it is a planet. A planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the Sun. This path is known as orbit. The time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is known as its period of revolution. The period of revolution increases as the distance of the planet increases from the Sun. Besides revolving around the Sun, the planets also rotate on its own axis. The time taken by a planet to complete one rotation is called the period of rotation. Satellite can be defined as any celestial body revolving around another celestial body. Mercury is the first planet of the solar system. It is the smallest planet in our solar system. Venus is the second planet of the solar system. This planet rotates slowly and in the opposite direction as compared to other planets, that is, from east to west. Its rotation on its axis is somewhat unusual. Earth is the third planet of the solar system. It is the only planet on which life is known to exist. Also, the axis of Earth is inclined to its orbital plane at an angle of 66.5 degrees. Mars is the fourth planet of the solar system. It is known as Red Planet. Jupiter is the fifth planet of the solar system. It is the largest planet of our solar system. It is so large that it can fit 1,300 Earths inside itself. Saturn is the sixth planet of the solar system. It has a yellowish color appearance and is surrounded by beautiful rings. Uranus is the seventh planet of the solar system. Like Venus, it rotates from east to west. Neptune is the eighth and the last planet of the solar system. Apart from the planets and the Sun, there are also some other members of the solar system. These are the asteroids, comets, meteors and meteorites, and artificial satellites. Asteroids are small objects revolving around the Sun that are found in the large gap between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Comets are the most rare objects in the night sky. A comet revolves around the Sun in highly elliptical orbits. If a meteoroid enters into the Earth's atmosphere, having high speed, it begins to heat up. This heat up was due to friction between the Earth's atmosphere and the body. If this body evaporated fast, it was known as meteors. Larger meteors that do not evaporate when coming in touch with the Earth's atmosphere and reach the surface of Earth are known as meteorites. Apart from the Moon, many other satellites also surround Earth. These are known as artificial satellites. These satellites are man-made satellites and are always launched from Earth.